Brr. It is cold outside. Luckily though, we have whiskey to warm us up. So I'm gonna bring you 5 whiskeys today to warm you up in those winter months, whether you're by the fire, on the couch, reading a book at night, whatever you're doing. I got some Scotch, I got some American whiskey. Warm me up, see what they are. Well, you know what? It wouldn't be much of a winter whiskey list without some peat. So I'm gonna bring you Port Charlotte 10 from Bruichladdich. Around 70 bucks. This is 50% alcohol, so it has a little higher ABV, also nice peat. This is 40 ppms. This is gonna pair really nicely if you got a fireplace or a wood stove. The nice peat smoky notes in this whiskey to pair with that nice smell you get out of that fireplace or wood stove. And that's not all that's in this glass though. There's some nice spicy aspects, some oak, some nice little honey, some little zesty aspects, as well as the meat that you really like from those peat. It doesn't have to be Bruichladdich Port Charlotte 10. It could be Laphroaig 10, Ardbeg. Spend a bunch more money, get some Octomore. But I really do think that a nice peated Scotch is gonna help you in those winter months, especially when it's over 50% alcohol. So boom, this is Port Charlotte 10, number 1. I've got 4 others though, if you don't like peated Scotch, so stay tuned. Number 2, Full Proof Bourbon from Kentucky, 1792, 125 proof. Oh my goodness, this thing is gonna warm you up very well. This is a very rich, peppery, fruity, spicy, long-lasting finish, thick bourbon. And if this doesn't warm you up, nothing else in this list is going to, because this is a nice full bomb. Now, it doesn't have to be this whiskey. You could go for a barrel proof Elijah Craig. You can get Old Forest 1920. Or any other high proof bourbon that you like. But for me, this one is already on my shelf and it's fantastic. If you can find this, it's around 65 bucks. So it's not a super high priced bourbon. The mash bill of this guy is 75% corn, 15% rye, and 10% malted barley. So it's really nice and sweet, a little bit of that rye aspect for some nice spicy notes, but it's very fruity, nice rich cherries. I love this whiskey, and high proof bourbons are very good at warming up in the winter months. Let's see what number 3 is. Number 3, we're gonna stay in Kentucky with a full-blown rye, Blue Run Golden Rye. Now, this is a little lower ABV. This is 95 proof, 47.5% alcohol, but the nice, full, spicy notes you get out of this is almost like the baking shelf of your cupboard. It's really gonna remind you of nice fresh baked cookies with some cinnamon pop, some nutmeg, and it's smooth, so you could actually try and drink this a little quicker and not get destroyed by like a 62% alcohol I just had. So you can have multiple drams of this and have a nice long time by that fire or the couch or your reading chair, whatever it is. And it doesn't have to be this rye, it could be any rye, or even like a high rye bourbon. And if you don't wanna spend, this is retail, it's like $110, so I would not pay that for this bottle. I got this half off on Sealbach. I'll put that on the screen for you. So don't pay $110 for it if you can help it. But I will say just any rye or a high rye is great. So a cheap high rye would be a Smooth Ambler Old Scout. That's like 35 bucks. Very, very good whiskey for that low of a price. And that's gonna nice spice you up as well. And then actually I think it's higher proof than this one as well. But I think a rye is a nice avenue to bring people that may not like the super high proof bourbons, but like lower ABV, but still wants some nice spicy notes to warm you up. So I think a rye is good for that. It's number 3. See what number 4 is. Number 4, gonna go back to Scotland. I don't have this bottle currently, so bam, but I have talked about this before. This is Aberlour Abunid. Abunid is a sherry bomb cast strength Scotch, and my goodness. From Speyside, Oloroso sherry, very sweet, but very hard hitting. They're usually over 60% alcohol, so you know, you get a nice full flavor there. It doesn't have to be Aberlour, it could be a Edgerdour if you want to spend a bunch more money. I think the Edgerdour 10 sherry is freaking phenomenal. That one is like strawberry jam. So if you like warm fruit by the fire or just when you're being cold, that's an awesome one. But I would say a nice big sherry bomb Scotch is the way to go, and make sure it's cask strength, because otherwise you're not getting the full flavor there, and I don't think that that nice richness flavor you get from those are gonna help you out when you're cold. But I do love Aberlour Abunid. It's around 100 bucks. If you're lucky, you might be able to get it for a lower price. I think around me, it's gonna be around that $100 mark, but I do love it. Aberlour is a very underrated distillery, I think. And again, if you want to spend a little more money, Edgerdour, anything, cask strength, you're gonna be good to go. Whiskey 5 is a general type of whiskey. For me, I think a cask strength Scotch, whatever region you want, is good to go. And I'm saying cask strength, for me, I'd say at least over 57%. Otherwise, you're not getting that full, nice, explosive flavor and nice, warm, long finishes it offers you. So I just talked about Edgerdour. So boom, right here, just Edgerdour 13. It's like 61% alcohol. This thing is freaking amazing. But you can get a Highland, Speyside, Campbelltown, Isla. I don't really know about the lowland region to give you a nice cask strength, but at least those 4 really full flavored options available to you and all the price ranges. So I would say go out and find a cask strength Scotch. If you don't like peat, if you don't like bourbon, if you don't like rye, just go and find a Scotch that has a nice high alcohol content and you're probably gonna be good to go. This one though, it's finished in Chardonnay cask. It's very bright, it's pretty thick, it's got a lot of nice zesty, citrusy, fruity notes, and the finish is very long lasting. I reviewed this guy, it's a beer. I love this whiskey a lot. But again, if you don't like the peat or the bourbons or the rye, there's a lot of options in Scotland for you to get a nice high-proofed whiskey to warm you up if you don't like the other options. Okay, there's 5 whiskeys to warm you up during the winter season. If you don't like these whiskeys I gave, what do you guys drink when it's cold outside? Comment down below. I would love to know. Maybe you can give me another idea to drink so I'm also warmer. But I think the ones that I offered were pretty good. But again, give me your ideas. If you like this video, give it a like. If you not subscribed yet, consider doing so. And I'll see you guys next time.